A lot of people label Gordon Ryan as the GOAT of BJJ, but is he really as good as they claim, or is his career just overrated? In this video, you and I were gonna find it out, so what are we waiting for? Before we talk about if Gordon Ryan is overrated, first we have to understand why people even consider him as the GOAT. He's a multiple times ADCC world champion. He was highly dominant throughout many years and has almost no losses at the highest level. If we just look at the stats, there are only a few athletes which have shown similar dominance throughout their career. The thing which separates Gordon Ryan from other ADCC champions wasn't just that he won, it was how he won. In an era where many athletes played on points, Gordon Ryan was known to actively hunt for the submission, and apart from his success on the mat, he had heavy influence on the evolution of modern Nogi Jiu-Jitsu. Despite all of these achievements, there are still some arguments that suggest Gordon Ryan may be overrated. Let's take a closer look at these arguments. One argument is that many fans talk about Gordon Ryan as if he has no weaknesses, but when you take a closer look, that's simply not true. For example, if we look at his match with Nicky Rodriguez, we can clearly see Gordon was uncomfortable wrestling with him. So he decided to just give him the single leg and let him take down, which was a smart decision, but he was still very well rounded. Argument number 2. The heavyweight division is most likely the least technical division there is, so he had a big advantage against the rest of them, cause he was training under John Danaher, the coach which focused on techniques and systems the most of them all. And this immediately leads perfectly into the third argument, the pound for pound ranking. If we would make a mental experiment and shrink Gordon Ryan's height and size and weight by 30%, would this version of Gordon Ryan really be able to dominate Mika Galvao and the Rotolo brothers? In my eyes, there's a high chance that athletes like Mika Galvao would win against him. Or if we go even further and shrink him down by 40%, then he's about the weight of Mikey Musumeci, and cause the heavyweights use a lot less technique, I personally have no doubt that Mikey Musumeci would win this match, maybe even pretty easily. But at the end of the day, these are just experiments. Gordon Ryan is 100 kilos and Mike is 60.
If you watch till here, why do you not follow?
So how high is Gordon Ryan actually on the GOAT list? Gordon Ryan was and still is the most dominant heavyweight in BJJ history and one of the most dominant athletes overall. Whether you think he's overrated or not, his results are impossible to ignore. Personally, I don't think Gordon Ryan is the most technically gifted athlete to ever live. However, I do think he is the most technical heavyweight the sport has ever seen. Those two statements can be true at the same time. In the end, I think Gordon Ryan deserves to be in every GOAT debate there is. But whether he's number one or not depends on how you define greatness. If greatness means dominance, Gordon is probably the GOAT. But if greatness means pure pound for pound technique, the discussion becomes a lot more complicated. Everybody has a different view of Jiu-Jitsu, and this view is gonna give you your personal answer to this question. For me personally, he isn't the GOAT, but everybody has his own opinion.